Hello everyone, welcome to Everyday Prelim series of Shantha Lakshmi IAS Academy. So today in this video, let us discuss the topics of 6th of December 2025. First, we are going to discuss about the Umeed portal, and second about the Hornbill Festival, and third about the Afar region of Africa, and finally Bolivia country mapping. So coming to our first topic, that is the Umeed portal. So why we are discussing about this Umeed portal now? So this portal was launched on June 6th, 2025. And when launching, it said that the deadline for the registration will be 6 months. So today is December 6, 2025. So the deadline for the registration to this Umeed portal will get finished on this 6th December 2025. And regarding this deadline, the Union Minority Minister Kiran Rijiju has answered that there will be no further extensions on this deadline for registrations into this Umeed portal. So this was clarified. So let's see about what is this Umeed portal. So UMED stands for the Unified Work Management, Empowerment, Efficiency and the Development Portal, which was launched under this Act, UMED Act, Unified Work Management, Empowerment, Efficiency and Development Act 1995, and which was amended in the year 2025. So through this amendment, this UMED portal was also launched, and it was launched on this June 6, 2025 under the Ministry of the Minority Affairs. So it is a centralized digital platform, and what is the aim of this Umeed portal? So it will create the transparent, accountable and efficient management of the work properties across India. So what are these work properties? See, these are the charitable endowment properties of the Muslim population, which will be used for the religious and other welfare activities. So all these properties have to be registered under this Umeed portal, and through this Umeed portal, it will enhance, or it will create a transparent, accountable and the efficient management of this work properties across India. Coming to the features of this Umeed portal, it is a centralized digital platform. It is a single window platform, which means every activity, that is the uploading of the documents, verification of the documents and the monitoring of all these properties can be done under this single platform, that is through this Umeed portal. And second is the mandatory uploading of all work properties. All work properties should be mandatorily uploaded in this Umeed portal. And third is a three-tier verification system, which has a system of this maker, checker and the approver. So under this system, maker will be the Mutawali or the any authorized person by the state or the UT work board. So this maker will upload all the documents into this Umeed portal. And next, the checker. The checker will be the district level officer or any other such officer authorized by the state work board or the union territory work board. So at this checker this is the medium level, second tier level. So this checker will check. He will check whether the information provided in this details are correct or not. And next is the approver, who is the CEO or any other officer authorized by the state or the UT work board. So these are the final approver. Yes, they will say yes, all the documents are clear, now it can be final. So this is the final approver. So it has this three-type verification system under this Umeed portal. First is the public access and the monitoring. Once uploaded, this Umeed portal will be publicly accessed so that the public can view about this work properties. And next is the documentation. So each property receives a 17-digit unique ID from this Umeed portal. Yes, so these are the features of this Umeed portal which are related to the registration of this work properties. Moving to our second topic, that is the Hornbill Festival. So from this December 1st to December 10th, every year this Hornbill Festival is celebrated. So this is the context, but the context is that the Union Minister of Communication and the Department and the Development of the Northeastern Region, Jyotiraditya Scindia, marked a significant day in Nagaland, and he participated in this traditional Naga stone pulling ceremony at this festival by wearing the Angama attire. See here you can see he is the minister. He participated in the stone pulling festival of this Hornbill festival. So let's see about this Hornbill festival. It is the festival which is celebrated in the Nagaland, and it is organized by the state tourism, Nagaland tourism and other art and the culture departments. It will be held annually every year from December 1st to December 10th in the Nagaland. And this is known as the Festival of Festivals. This festival is known as the Festival of Festivals. And the purpose of this Hornbill festival is that to revive and protect the rich culture of Nagaland. So this Nagaland has many tribes, as approximately 17 to 18 indigenous cultures and the tribes. So through this Hornbill festival, they will bring all other tribes to this Kohima place, and that so that they will enhance or enrich the tribal rich culture of the Nagaland in a unified manner. And it is held at the Naga Heritage Village, Kisama, which is about the 12 kilometer from Kohima. And see, Hornbill Festival, from the name itself, we can tell that this festival is named after the great hornbill bird, which is a revered in the Naga culture. And each tribe sets up a morum, that means the tribal huts, and it serves as a platform for all the major 17 major Naga tribes to come together in a cultural harmony. And there are many other events like the singing events, dance, and all other events for these 10 days in this Nagaland. Third topic is the upper region of Africa. So why we are discussing about this upper region? See, the researchers have discovered that this Africa continent is undergoing a major geological shift or the tectonic shift. They found that this Africa is going to divide into two separate land masses, and for their analysis they turned their attention to this upper region, which is a place where the Red Sea as well as the Gulf of Aden meets. And they found that this upper is the area where this earliest and most visible signs of the continental breakup are already visible or unfolding. So this is the place where upper is the place the continental breaking is visible. And the scientist also told that this is a zip on a jacket. So they found that this division of this continental mass is looking like the zip on a jacket. You can see here. This is the location in this upper region which is visible, so that this African continent is dividing into two major land masses. So now let's talk about this Afar region. So it is the northeastern state of Ethiopia. Afar is the northeastern state of Ethiopia with its capital Samara. And formally it is known as the region 2. And it is the place where the Red Sea meets the Gulf of Aden. Here you can see Red Sea and this is the Gulf of Aden. And this is the upper region of this Ethiopia in the Horn of Africa. It is located in the Horn of Africa, and see it extends into the Eritrea as well as the Djibouti also. So this place is known as the upper region. It extends into Eritrea as well as the Djibouti physiographically, and it lies within the upper depression, which is also known as the Danakil depression. And this Afar is the one of the most hottest and the driest places on the earth. And here you can see we have this Afar triangle, that is the Danakil depression, where this Gulf of Aden, Red Sea as well as the Ethiopian Rift will meet. And Awash River flows into this upper region, and it contains the lowest point in Africa, that is the Lake Assal in the Djibouti. This upper depression contains the lowest point in Africa, which is the Lake Assal. Remember, lowest point Lake Assal, which is present in the Djibouti. And it also has this presence of this Dalol, which is one of the hottest places on the earth. It's also home to the Afar tribes. Remember, Afar region is a place in the Ethiopia in the Africa. Now coming to a mapping point, that is the Bolivia. Here you can see Bolivia. First we discussed about the Brazil, next Argentina, yesterday Chile, and now let's see about this Bolivia. So it is a landlocked country in South America. We have two landlocked countries in South America, and this Bolivia is one of those. Its constitutional capital is Sucre, and administrative capital is La Paz. And this La Paz is the highest capital city in the world with an elevation of approximately 3,650 meters. It lies on an elevation of approximately 3,650 meters. La Paz, which is the capital of or administrative center of this South America. And official languages, it has many other official languages, but it widely used is the Spanish. It got its independence from Spain in the year 1824, and its currency is the Boliviano. And it is the largest landlocked country in the southern hemisphere. This Bolivia is the largest landlocked country in the whole southern hemisphere. And coming to the borders of this Bolivia, Peru, it is on its west, and Brazil on its northeast, Paraguay on its southeast, and next Argentina on its south, and Chile on its southwest. Coming to the key physical features of this Bolivia, it hosts the Andes Mountains, and in these Andes Mountains in Bolivia, in this Andes Mountains in Bolivia, we have this Altiplano Plateau, which is the second largest plateau after Tibet. It also has this Amazon basin, and it hosts this Salar de Uyuni, which is the world's largest salt flat, and it is also the resource of this lithium reserves also. See, from 2 days we have been seeing this ABC triangle, right? ABC triangle or the lithium triangle. One is Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile. In Bolivia, the Salar de Uyuni, which is the world's largest salt pans are present, and this is the source of this lithium reserves also. And see, this lake Bolivia also has this Lake Titicaca, which is shared with Peru, but it is the world's highest navigable lakes. Coming to the major rivers of this Bolivia, Madhira River, Beni River, Mamori River, and the Pilcomayo River. So that's all for today. Thank you.